The attack on Trump only made him a huge favor, but his reaction was perfect. Look at this. Notice that he's very cognizant and aware of what he's doing. He tells the bodyguards, wait, so he can do his fist up. Such a strong message of power and defiance. This will embolden his fan base and further strengthen his image of power, of alpha male, of defiance to anybody who stands in his way. And with this, whoever stands in his way is going to be framed as aggressive, as violent, and not belonging to democracy and to a civil society, which is exactly what he needed. Because so far, one of the biggest weapons in the Democrats' hands was the fact that they could frame Donald Trump as egoistical, narcissistic, and not good for democracy because of his despotic, power-creating tendency. I'm not going to discuss here whether that's true or not. In large part it's true, but this now heavily undermines that angle for the Democrats. It's a big handicap. I want to stress again, Trump's reaction here was absolutely genius. USA, look at that. Oh man. And if you look at the pictures online, you can already see what an effect that has. Look at this face of anger and strength and not backing down. And this one with the flag behind him. Oh man, this is going to become an epoch-making picture. Look at this one. This is so good for Donald Trump. It is so good. This also weakens his opposition, because now what happens is that Biden has to come out, of course, and say, that is terrible. I'm glad Trump is fine. We don't stand for this and blah, blah, blah. Of course, that makes sense. It's true. But at the same time, now Democrats are also standing behind Trump. So he's got two parties now pushing him forward. Plus, the Democrats now have to blunt their attacks going forward for the next days, if not for the next weeks. And that again is less headwind for Trump towards his presidency bid. Finally, as we said, long term, this also plays in Trump's hands, because now the Democrats have less of a moral ground to say that Trump is undemocratic, because now, and look at that, before going into the car, such a genius move, he does the power move once again, because he wants to leave on a high. So important. The last image that people will have in their mind is Trump who did not run away, who did not escape, but who left with his arm up. As I was saying, the Democrats are going to be heavily damaged by this failed attack, because now people will start associating anti-Trump with violence. And violence does not belong in a civil society, does not belong in the United States, does not belong in any advanced country. This event will also garner some sympathy for Trump, for the undecided, who are always so important in any election. So it will embolden his fan base. It will gain sympathy from the undecided, and it's going to weaken the Democrats. Such a huge win on all fronts for Trump, just for a piece of ear, huge gain for him. And I wanted to leave you with something similar that happened in Europe and in Italy with a character who is similar to Donald Trump, and that was Berlusconi, of course. Berlusconi was also attacked. Of course, this was Europe, so you didn't have a rifle and a scope, but somebody threw a statuette on his face. But he made it a point to show his bloodied face. Even when he was escorted away, he made it a point to sit next to the window and to show his bloodied face. He didn't do the high power fist. However, this still framed the opposition as brutish, extremists, violent, and not belonging in a democracy, which only did so much good for him. And also he could frame the attacks against him as coming from undemocratic, violent people. Of course, in truth, most attacks against Berlusconi were because people didn't want a president who was more into protecting his own interest and fucking as many girls as he could, including underage. But unluckily, many people do not think that way. And when you have a very good persuader like Berlusconi or Trump, they are very good at using these situations to their advantage. So anyway, huge win for Trump. It's going to be very interesting now to see how the Democrats are going to fight against this. In my opinion, they were already losing badly. So with this, probably at this point, the only hope they have is to put a much stronger candidate. Maybe Kamala Harris could bring that much needed change. Otherwise, Democrats are going to be routed.